Episode 114 of Final Fantasy XIV. Nothing special for 114, no. Just going back to the main story quest. It actually took me more time than I care to admit to position this snake onto the plate. Back to work after a pretty long break. I'm not sure everything we did in between, but I guess the last main story related thing we did was the Crystal Tower, which was before my actual real-life holiday stuff, but I guess wasn't all too long ago in terms of actual episodes. But all of the Moon Burrito stuff that we did in patch 3.4 quests were quite a few episodes ago nonetheless, I think. And since the Crystal Tower, I guess what I did was a bunch of Moogle quests, which I didn't even complete yet, so I'll have to get back to that. It's gonna be hard to explain to the boss what we were doing up until now. Not that we have to. There's always some downtime in between the patch quests for you to do whatever. There's an implied passage of time and whatnot. But I always feel like I want to make sure that we're doing something, or at least pretending that we're doing something like Komori, the living Lalafell, would actually do in-universe, if this were all canon or something. I guess my excuse for doing all of these Moogle quests, other than just doing them because I wanted to and never did them before, was that Komori was spreading her little tendrils into the mail network to become a spy like Ryu was in that recent patch quest that we did. My little way of connecting events from the main story into what I'm doing in the side quest. Not that we're actually doing that, but still, it's fun to pretend. And I guess our little adventure in the Heaven's Turn event was maybe an extension of that, who knows. Mail, fortunes, something like that. We'll get back to the mail later. Right now, it's main story time. Right now, it's main story time. I am most eager to address the Ascian threat. However, we dare not neglect our other pressing concerns. We both know full well that Saint Shiva will not be the last primal we face, and our relationship with Ishgard is still tenuous at best. To think that the resolution of the primal threat was once the sole priority of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. Some days I wonder if it was wise for us to take on so many other responsibilities. Lest you forget, Antecedent, the Scions need not shoulder the burden alone. Were not the Crystal Braves established for this very reason? True, we are presented with a multitude of problems. However, we have all the resources we need to address them in turn. Komori, in particular, is ever a steadying hand, who I trust will continue to support the Braves. We will, Alphinaud, until the inevitable gang wars that are surely, definitely, absolutely happening. I've still been working on my adventurer squadron in the background, and I hope they'll be ready in time for the gang wars that are definitely happening. To what do we owe the pleasure? Have there been further developments regarding the situation in Ul'dah? As expected, the Immortal Flames have been struggling to cope with the revelation that one of their highest-ranking officers was a Garlean agent. Suffice it to say, Teleji Adeleji and his monetarist ilk have wasted no time in attempting to turn the situation to their advantage. Coupled with ongoing unrest, the Flames are finding themselves hard-pressed. Plainly, General Raubon needs our help, and I will direct the Crystal Braves to offer what support they can. If I am to stay abreast of the latest developments and issue effective orders, however, I cannot afford to waste time traveling back and forth. And so, for the foreseeable future, I think it would be for the best if I were to remain in Ul'dah, unless you have an objection. None whatsoever. We have matters well in hand. Moonbreeder's research is proceeding as planned. So she tells me, though I am not familiar with the details. Oriander is poring over his tomes at the Waking Sands, and the others are contributing in their own ways. Alas, the key problem, how to form an ethereal blade at will, remains unsolved. Nevertheless, it is only a matter of time. Komori, while we focus on that task, mayhap you could assist Alphinaud and his braves with theirs. It would do much to restore faith in the immortal flames if the Warrior of Light was seen working on their behalf. Never forget that your esteemed status allows you to act in ways with those more tightly bound to organizations and nations cannot. As ever, I implore you to do so. Yes, well, it's that very same status that lets us spy on those very same organizations. And also through their mail, which we've been reading surreptitiously. Not that your response was ever in doubt, but I humbly thank you once more for aiding our cause. Now then, there are preparations that I must attend to before my departure, such as receiving Ryle's latest report. They're not going to tell me that Ryle is actually pronounced Ryu, is it? Surely not. Not like the other Ryu. He has proven to be quite skilled at gathering information others wish kept secret, hence why I placed him under my direct command and ordered him to investigate the Oldon rites. A rival spy, then. When you are finished here, join me outside. Depending on what he has to say, I may soon have a favor to ask. If there are any developments on our front, I shall inform you at once in the usual fashion. While we focus on resolving the Ascian threat, pray devote your energies to assisting Alphinaud and the Crystal Braves. Right. Alphinaud and the Crystal Braves. I brought to mind the fortune that we got, and thinking that after Komori got the fortune, she decided to put all of her side projects on hold, come back to work. She got a bad fortune last episode, so if you let a bad fortune sit and do nothing about it, then it's just going to come true. Maybe she thought it was time to get her ass in gear and try to reverse her fortune. Not that she's superstitious, but maybe it affected her. Maybe helping the Crystal Braves will help her bring good fortune back. And it looks like all the NPCs have moved, so let's talk with each of them once. Ever since Moonbreeder arrived, the Rising Stones has been buzzing with excited energy. I must admit, her enthusiasm is rather contagious. I am unfamiliar with the dishes of the lands to the north. Perhaps once Moonbreeder has concluded her current research, she might deign to share with me her culinary knowledge. Sometimes people say deign in this game, and sometimes they say design, and in either case, both words kind of fit into the same niche for the sentence, so I have trouble recognizing when I'm reading which word it is. I always have to pause. This sentence could work as either she might deign to share or she might design to share, but I guess the words are slightly different. Whatever. I just have to read. It's easy. When the City of Learning was abandoned, a great many tomes were scattered and lost. How smoothly our research might proceed, were we able to peruse the archives of yesteryear. She's referring to old, or rather new, Charlian, here in Dravania, which was abandoned. Lore reasons. I'm wondering when we'll get into that. Soon enough, I'm sure. But I don't remember exactly when. It might even be next expansion when we even talk more about it, more than slightly. Moonbreeder has charged us with acquiring some rather esoteric manuscripts, but I'm afraid the task is proving to be nigh impossible. So that's what they've been doing. Other than getting hungover at holiday parties. They've been wandering around fetching books for Moonbreeder, I guess. We needed a rare ore to modify the white ore site, and Tancred solved the problem using only his zinc pearl. I mean, it's great and everything, but where's the fun in that? Didn't get a chance to put those legs of yours to use, huh? Would we win in a squat competition against Ida? Komoi's no slouch, she's a warrior of light. Kind of. But I don't think she'd win against Ida. Komoi's probably not the physical type. When one is in need of precious commodities, it helps to have friends in the right places. Fortunately, I am well acquainted with the charming daughter of a successful Uldan import merchant. Gathering books and gathering ores. What about you two? Ori and I were in eastern Thanalan when the colossal shards of Dalamud pierced the ground. We stood witness to the subsequent explosion of ether, and watched dumbfounded as the swirling energy solidified into those twisted crystal structures that we now know so well. We were but stripling adventurers the night we saw fire rain from the sky and a pillar of light scorch the heavens. What a sight that was, eh, Coltonet? Might be Coltonet. I'm just gonna say Coltonet. They never say his name in dialogue, like voice dialogue, so I don't think we'll ever find out. Those two have been telling me stories about the corrupted crystal formations that appeared following the calamity. I'll need more data before I can draw a conclusion, but I'm intrigued by the potential of their untapped energies. To me, they're basically just scenery, but I guess they do show up in quests from time to time. And Totoro. I guess everyone else is out. Most of the Domans are out, most of the blue crystal braves are out, other than Ryle. Hello, Komoi. Are you sleeping well? You must be absolutely exhausted from saving the realm on a daily basis. Well, we've been delivering the mail, so somehow that's probably more exhausting than saving the world. I don't envy the mail workers, especially during holiday periods. Actually, come to think of it, I guess we'll get another mail-related event pretty soon, huh? Let's see if we can pick back up the Muro quests in time for the Valention's event. Maybe if we reach a nice point in the story, with the way my recording schedule works out, we'll be delivering the mail at the same time people are sending out love letters. Though that's probably not what the event is going to be. We already had an event like that. We'll see. Is everything in order, Komoi? Are you ready to attend us? Pleasure as always, Komoi. You'll be escorting the commander to Uldar, I take it. Actually, I had another task in mind for her. If you would be so kind as to repeat your report for her benefit. Right then. Me and mine have been making inquiries to the source of the weapons, what found their ways into refugee hands a ways back. So happens we caught wind of something promising. A rather large purchase of sharp and pointy things, by a black marketeer, holed up near Highbridge. We know the guy stationed at Highbridge, maybe we can talk to him. No, we probably don't want to get more long half puns. Let's just take whatever we get from Ryle. I doubt this man would have secured such a quantity of weapons if he did not already have clients waiting. Clients that, for whatever reason, would prefer for this transaction to remain secret. Brings to mind that merchant what caught an arrow while talking to Komoi, don't it? Generous fellow he was, doling out swords and spears to the downtrodden and disgruntled. Which isn't to say that these clients have the same mischief in mind, but if you want to be sure, it might be prudent to intervene before they collect their goods, savvy? Seizing the weapons before they fall into the wrong hands would be for the best. However, if we strike at the appointed hour, we might capture the black marketeer as well as his clients. What say you, Komoi? Then it is settled. Rendezvous with Captain Ilbert at Highbridge, and intervene when the exchange takes place. Now then, if you would excuse me, I must leave for Ul'dah. I expect good tidings. Don't keep Captain Ilbert waiting for you too long, lass. You might have to start without you. Highbridge. Over here. And actually, we still have the holiday barding on, don't we? Let's change that out since it's the new year now. I did actually go and buy this barding, so I guess we can swap to that for a while. You don't get this for any special reason, just turning in some achievement tokens over at the vendor in Gridania. But since we are a black mage, I guess it's fine to dress up our chocobo as one. Not playing as a black mage right now, though. I did actually learn, I may have mentioned this before, don't remember. Longcaft is actually here at Highbridge, sometimes, but only during fates. He appears, I guess, as an NPC, and I think it's actually a chain of fates that he's involved in. I'm wondering how they fit in the Longcaft puns into the fate, if he only has a couple of speech bubbles appear over his head throughout the fate, but I'm sure they fit it in somehow. Ah, Komoi. My scouts have been keeping a close eye on the Black Marketeer, and it would seem that his guests have arrived. It would also seem that he has hired more than a few men to stand guard, common thugs of no consequence, but they nevertheless pose a threat. Even so, I feel compelled to apologize. This is far beneath a woman of your standing, and Commander Levieur needn't have dispatched you hither. What powerful men ever have need of loyal, able-bodied friends? Having found one in you, 'tis only natural that he would come to rely upon you without hesitation. I don't really remember Ilbert's voice. Both the voice that I used for him and his actual voice in cutscenes. Don't remember too well. Again, not that it ever really matters. I'm not striving for accuracy, just to get them slightly different between each character. Oh, good. It stopped raining. If we hit an actual real cutscene now, at least it won't be raining. Now then, we should make for the burning wall without delay and secure those weapons. The first unit will ensure that the clients do not escape. With me, Komoi. And what are you gonna do? Joining us? Okay. We'll bring reinforcements of our own. Although if this is going to be like an instance battle or something, we can't bring in our chocobo. But those are pretty few and far between, so it's probably just going to be a cutscene. Or one of those purple circles, which is the only situation our chocobo can help in. Oh, it's in our secret Black Mage cave. With our friend Kazarcha. What do you think of our chocobo? Short Stack is a Black Mage now too. Does this offend you? Probably not. More friends, right? Perfect weather for a cutscene, which I'm pretty sure is going to happen right now. I spy the one man there. But there are sure to be others. I have a plan. While you approach the sentry and create a distraction, my men and I will slip past and catch the black marketeer unawares. Once you've disposed of the thugs, wait for us outside the tunnel entrance. Any questions? Then let us be off. Good luck, my friend. Nope, no cutscene. Who goes there? An adventurer? Damn fool. You should have never come here. Oh cool, our chocobo can actually help out. And we should get our Moogle out too. Not Moogle, our Carbuncle. Actually, you should be able to summon a Moogle as a summoner. That'd be fun. That's kind of like an Eggy you could do, right? An Eggy of King Moogle-Mog. Not necessarily the king, but just a normal Moogle would be fine. But I guess for lore reasons it would have to be an Eggy of the king, since that's the only primal. All I'm saying is, summoning a Moogle, easy to do. Maybe they only leave that for Pictomancer though, although that's not really the same thing. Did we kill those people or knock them out? I can never tell sometimes. The framing of this is... it goes 50-50, I think. I don't understand. What's this all about? Oh! As you can see, this is a fine mess. When I tried to restrain him, he drew a hidden blade and lashed out. But before I could disarm him, one of my subordinates panicked, and this is the result. How foolish of me to underestimate the bastard, and to bring in an inexperienced recruit. Commander Levier will be most disappointed. Damn it all, a golden opportunity wasted. As for the clients, though we know not how, they slipped past our perimeter. At present, the first is currently tracking a party of Duskwhite sellswords we suspect may be them. Would that we could have enlisted the aid of the Immortal Flames or the Brass Blades. Alas, we're here to aid them. They're in no position to aid us. Well, at the very least, we have secured the weapons. Yet even that accomplishment is lacking. For the information we received indicated a massive shipment, and this is anything but. No, not quest complete, Komori. Quest failed. Komori doesn't care as long as she gets paid. I will join the first in their hunt for the Duskwhite sellswords. If the gods are good, we will catch them before they escape into the Black Shroud. In the meantime, I ask that you deliver these weapons to Ul'dah in my stead. Entrust them to the Third's Yuhase. He will take care of the rest. Pray take the Black Marketeer's weapons in that crate and deliver them to Ul'dah. Seek out Yuhase of the 3rd Unit on the steps of Thal, and deliver the crate into his care. No real flavor from that one. I was expecting maybe him to express his disappointment in some more words. I guess not. Great White Tsuchinoko. Kagami Mochi. Ah, over here. Not normally in this part of the building. Usually only when I'm wandering around for a quest or something. I guess we can stop by here to check out the decorations. Really only saw the decorations over in Limsa Laminsa, but they decorate all 3 city-states for each event, so I guess we still have Gridania to see. That is not proper Kagami Mochi form, but that doesn't matter. Ah, did your orange fall off? Oh, wait, hang on. Is this? It is. Okay. We've got another story going on. Where's the start? I'm going to assume... Actually, it might not be a story this time. Could just be all separate decorations. For each event, they sometimes, mainly in Ul'dah, have like a special story going on, told statically, with a lineup of these little prompts. And you'd have to just walk around to experience a story, but I don't think there's any story here. There's this one with the scarf, which looks like it might have dumped down for this orange dye. And then it sees that other people are wearing the dye. But after that... Oh no, wait, it might be the same one. It took off its scarf and its top hat and started wearing the dye. It still has the same mustache, so yeah, this is a story. And took out some fans to get festive. And then the holiday is over. Takes off the orange and puts back on the normal clothes. Just like we did. No more festive holiday outfit for us. We're working right now. Actually, is this a continuation of the story? It's the same one with the mustache. I'm not sure where it begins and where it ends. Could just be the mustache snowman trying on a bunch of different outfits. And I think that's it for decoration. There might be some more over in the main plaza here. This street in front of the Adventurers Guild and whatnot. But I won't go out of my way for it. We're here for the main quest. Here's Willard. 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 I'm trying to remember Willard's entire life story. Maybe talking to him will help me remember. I recognize the name, but I'm having trouble remembering. Did you hear, my friend? I've received my first official assignment as a full-fledged member of the Crystal Braves. Willard. He wasn't the guy from Little Alamigo, was he? The one that tried to summon Rolger before we stopped him? Pretty sure that was a different guy. Could be the same one. Remember Alian and her grandfather? Why, Komoy, this is a surprise. Resh wished for me to thank you for helping us to rescue her from Castrum Sentry. How fortunate that we could meet again so soon. And Yu Hase, the guy that's killed a bunch of men, and we saw him standing over one man that he stabbed during that one time in the patch 3.4 quest. Funny guy, Yu Hase, funny guy. Who's he gonna kill next? Ah, the Warrior of Light, ever reliable friend to the Crystal Braves. You have my deepest thanks for your assistance in Gortys. Now what brings you to us this day? gift of weapons from a certain black marketeer, courtesy of Captain Ilbert, you say? Understood. Once we've catalogued the contents, I'll have them delivered to the Hall of Flames. This cannot be everything, can it? Ryle stated with confidence that there would be a far greater quantity of weapons. A blatant falsehood. Clearly Ryle is unfamiliar with the ways of Oldon merchants, who ever strive to present themselves as greater than they are. We should be thankful that his information was not completely erroneous, and that we managed to achieve anything of worth at all. It's still something worth celebrating, isn't it, Lieutenant? Besides, we've got more important things to worry about, like fighting those guardians up north. There'll be no fighting if I have anything to say about it. Our orders are to stand watch, not to seek glory in battle. If you have no further need of us, then I shall take my unit to the ceruleum processing plant. Time for the Force to earn their keep, eh? Fight well, Elion, for the freedom of all. Excellent work as always, my friend. Rest assured that the immortal flames will hear of your contribution. Until we meet again. Comoy, a word if it please you. Not here. Look for me at the Sapphire Avenue Exchange. No need for whistling this time, don't you worry. Ryle sure knows how to sneak up on a girl. Ryle, of course, we don't need to recall his backstory. He's pretty memorable. But I might as well say it out loud, I guess. Company of Heroes, ex-member. Interacted with him during the quest to fight Titan, where, of course, we had to whistle to get his attention. I guess part of his spying ways or something. That and a bunch of other interactions with the Scions, but he's a pretty cool guy. Thanks for indulging me request. Few places better than a market for privacy, I find. All the hustle and bustle of commerce means most conversations go unnoticed. I'll get to the point. At the Burning Wall, when you and the captain interrupted the exchange, what happened? Tell me everything. Leave no detail out. That's not quite how the first told it. These Duskwights they were chasing, latest word is that we lost the trail. But you never saw them yourself. Not before the fighting started, and not after. Something ain't right. I don't know what it is, but I can feel it in me bones. I'm not daft enough to be misled by some merchant's drunken boasts. Our information was reliable, goddammit. I know he purchased those weapons. As if I've never deciphered a moneylender's books, or had to follow a transaction back to its source. Did plenty of that back when the Braves were getting started, believe me. The commander wanted assurances that we weren't taking Gil from the wrong sort of benefactors. Of course, these days the money flows like water, and the first and third get the shiniest new toys. Forgive me, friend. I've a lot on me mind these days, and I appreciate you lending an ear. Right then, best get back to it. Sounds like he needs to spy in the mail, if that's where all the money goes through. Komoy, can you hear me? This is Tataru. Your presence is urgently requested at the Rising Stones. Please come and see me as soon as you are able. Even way over there, they stand out, that shade of blue, Not exactly the best for stealthy things, but I guess Ryle still manages to sneak up on us. What is so important, Tataru? No one's moved. Except for Moonbrita. Thank you for coming so quickly, Komoi. We have a guest from Ishgard who wishes to speak with you. A most, determined lady, by all indications. Our guest is with the antecedent in the solar at present. Let's not keep them waiting any longer, shall we? Determined lady from Ishgard. Could it be the Knight Commander's second in command? So it is. Lucia. Unexpected tidings from the north, borne by the Lord Commander's second. What manner of wind bloweth this day? At this point, it would be more unnerving if he spoke plainly. This is no time for idle chatter. That's what I do every time, Tataru. I talk to every NPC that is idle chatter before getting to the real chatter. Someone has to do it. Good of you to join us. We have much to discuss.
We have a guest from Ishgard who wishes to speak with you. I believe the two of you have met.
We have. I had hoped to speak with Commander Leveilleur as well, but I cannot afford to wait any longer. The Lord Commander sent me hither to request your aid in a matter of grave import.
You see now why I had Tataru summon you.
Now that we're all assembled, perhaps you would be good enough to elaborate on the nature of the matter which brought you to us.
The Observatorium's astrologians have sounded the alarm. Last night, the Dragonstar burned with an intensity not seen in 15 summers. Not since the Dravanians engaged the Empire in the Battle of Silvertear Skies.
The northern sky doth burn full bright upon the Wormlord's call. The red behemoth beckoneth, and flame consumeth all.
The old Curthan rhyme, aye. The brightening of the Dragonstar is said to accompany the roar of a great worm. The astrologians believe that it was Midgard Soma himself who cried out on this occasion.
After an absence of centuries, the King of Kings did return to lead his kind against the might of Garlemald, only to fall in his duel with the Agrius, proud flagship of the Garlean fleet. Devoid of life, his corpse remaineth entwined about the Magitech monstrosity even unto this day.
Ariange has the right of it. Whatever this alteration in the Dragonstar portends, the Great Worm has shown no sign of life. Tataru, have the Domans reported aught out of the ordinary?
Correct me if I'm wrong, but if Midgard-Zorma had roared, wouldn't we have heard it here in Revenant's Toll?
Roar is but a figure of speech. Dravanians can communicate in ways beyond our ken. It is for this very reason that we are forced to look for signs in the heavens. We cannot say with any confidence that a great worm roared at all, much less that it was Midgard-Zorma. Only by directly examining the Keeper of the Lake can we be certain. However, it will take too long to gain the Holy See's approval to dispatch the Temple Knights. Therefore, Sir Emric would entrust this task to you. Do you accept? We knew you would not disappoint us. Now, if you would excuse me, I must return and assist the Lord Commander. We have precious little time to prepare.
To prepare for what, pray tell?
When a great worm roars, his brethren cannot choose but answer. We prepare for battle.
Forgive me if I state aught which you already know, but I would ensure that you understand the nature of your destination. As Oriander stated, what we now call the Keeper of the Lake is the wreckage of the Agrius, former flagship of the Imperial fleet, and the corpse of the worm responsible for its destruction. 15 years ago, as the next step in his campaign to subjugate Eorzea, Gaius van Belsar attempted to seize control of Mordona. So massive was his force that all thought his victory a foregone conclusion. But an unlikely ally came to Eorzea's aid that day, Midgard Stormer, the legendary guardian of Silvertear Falls, burst forth from beneath the waters of the lake, and led a host of dragons against the Garlean airships overhead. In what would later become known as the Battle of Silvertear Skies, the Great Worm felled countless airships before engaging the Agrius. In the ensuing struggle, the flagship's ceruleum engines failed, and it tumbled into the lake below. Yet this victory came at a great cost, for the explosion which followed claimed the life of the Great Worm as well. That same explosion transformed Silvertear Falls into the desolate wasteland it is today, draining the lake of its waters and crystallizing aether for months around. I don't recall if this was actually in between 1.0 and 2.0 or prelude to 1.0, but I'm pretty sure it was prelude to 1.0. Again, which I've mentioned other times before, but part of that opening cutscene, that battle between Midgard Stormer and the Agrius, or not opening cutscene, opening cinematic, or I guess commercial cinematic, the advertisement, wherever they use that cinematic for it. It doesn't appear in the actual game. Yet a remnant of the lake remains, and at its center, a constant reminder of that fateful day long ago. In accordance with Sir Americ's wishes, our Doman allies have been standing watch over the Keeper of the Lake. It would be wise to speak with them before investigating the wreckage yourself. Be careful, my friend. We know not what dangers await you within. Now then, let us not neglect our own tasks. There is much to be done, and precious little time to do it. Midgard Stormer was once worshipped as the guardian deity of Silvertear Falls. Yet there he has lain for 15 years. 15 years, so 5 years ago would have been 1.0, so 10 years before the game actually started. In the original. Before I depart, I must needs speak with the antecedent in private, if you would be so kind. Anything new to say, Tataru? Oh gods, if that charred monstrosity actually returned to life, I don't know what I would do. And just checking. Yep, they've got more dialogue. That Lady Knight from Ishgard cuts quite a gallant figure, doesn't she? Considering the sudden arrival of foreign envoys and the like, preparing suitable meals at the Rising Stones can prove to be an interesting challenge. Though it may seem tedious when compared with the smiting of terrible foes, poring over crumbling scrolls is one of a scion's most important duties. Without the illumination of knowledge, we but vainly flail at specters in the dark. We were able to locate those elusive manuscripts in the archives of the Thaumaturgist Guild. I had not spoken much with the new guildmasters, but thankfully they were quite willing to accommodate us in our search. Well, I guess their dialogue changed, but not necessarily pertaining to Lucia's arrival, not all of them. I traveled to Ul'dah to meet with Sankrid's friend, the one who promised us that rare ore, and she began cursing me with words I've only ever heard from the mouths of pirates. I still have no idea what she was so angry about. Well, Tancred, what was she so angry about? In hindsight, mayhaps sending a lady in my stead was not the wisest of decisions. Pray, ignore my ramblings. I must confess, the relationship between those crystal formations and the destruction of the Ascians quite escapes me. Professor Lambertaint has published a thorough study on corrupted crystals and their properties. I highly recommend you procure yourself a copy of his work. The professor is the same professor we talked to when trying to infiltrate Garuda's lair, the guy that had us go all over the realm to do some corrupted crystal-related quest with his protégés. I don't think we're going to talk to any of them ever again, but I'm surprised I remember them. I'm pushing ahead with my research as quickly as I dare. The next time you face an Ascian, I would have you fight with a proper weapon in hand. Thanks, Moonbreeder. And that's everyone. Just as a quick check, I want to see if any NPCs have moved around Ordona, the city itself. I know a small contingent of them move around, based on like the domain stuff. Is this a domain? Oh. I don't think I've talked to these people since they arrived here, so not sure which patch quest they arrived in, but this is probably someone that changes based on your progress through the story. I'm buying herbs to make into poultices. People are always getting hurt around here, you see, and you can never have enough medicine. A Doman Brave is always prepared. Doman Braves, of course, are that kid's adventurer version of the Doman version of the Adventurers Guild, or whatever. I guess they settled for Doman Braves after the Crystal Braves. Again, not my favorite decision for naming, but we'll see. Dreams are well and good, but if you live with your head in the clouds, sooner or later you'll find yourself on your rear. My sorry Drinksodden's son is an example of this. I actually thought she might have been Doman, but I guess her clothes aren't Doman enough. Probably just a normal NPC. Oops. I think there were also some Domans over here. Yeah. We talked to this guy before, but anything new to say? No matter where I look, all I see is stone. I fear the grains we brought with us will not grow here. Nope, just the same. Who's this just walking around? Just a random NPC? Oh, I think I read about this. This is an NPC that wanders around Mordona, looking for her lost little carbuncle. I guess it's a ruby carbuncle. Does she ever find it? Oh, and there she goes. I think you can actually find that ruby carbuncle somewhere around town. Somewhere. Where, oh where could it be? Maybe it's only visible during some times of the day, like that NPC only being visible for a short period. But it's here, I'm sure of it, that ruby carbuncle. Maybe I'll capture it on video some other time. I know we'll be in and out of Mordona quite a lot. Well, that was fewer than I thought, but I guess that's all the Doman NPCs, for now. But if we're checking in on NPCs... Oh wait, there's one more up there. I think we'll also check in on this guy. I think we last talked to him when he helped us infiltrate the castrum over there. Now that we defeated the Guardian invasion force, does he have anything special to say? With the Black Wolf slain and his pack scattered, Revenant's tolls begun to take on new life. As for me, I dare say I'm beginning to see a future worth living for. A future not ruled by vengeance. Good for him. I remember the story he told us, not every detail, but it was a pretty heavy one, so I'm glad he's moving on. I'm glad that NPCs can have at least one line indicating that their stories are moving on. Koharu, what's your story? La la la, la-dee-da-dee-da. A child's joy will always brighten your day. I'll show you a smile if you're happy to pay. Does that sound right? Tataru has been teaching me traditional Ul'dah rhyming songs. The children of Ul'dah seem to spend an awful lot of time thinking about money. Don't teach them that, Tataru. Jeez. Alright, I think that's everyone. Just Raka and Koharu wandering around. There might have been some more NPCs I missed during other parts of the patch 2.0 progression or whatever. Can you guess? I'm trying to pad out time here by talking to random NPCs. Because I'm pretty sure we're about to go into a dungeon or unlock one, and I figured I didn't have enough time to actually finish it this episode. I say padding out time, but this is all stuff that I'm still actually interested in. The moving around of NPCs and stuff. So actually taking the time to check in on them once in a while is something I would do anyway. Padding out time. If I really wanted to, I could have walked all the way here from Mordona. You're in luck, miss. I was about to send word to Revenant's Toll about the Guardians. Of late, I've seen small airships, likely from Castrum Sentry, come and go from the Keeper of the Lake. Though I cannot say for certain at this distance, I believe they may be salvaging something from within the wreckage. The Castrum supply lines have been cut for some time, and I'd wager they're desperately in need of spare parts and other equipment. So it's true then. The Ishgardians honestly fear that the worm might rise again. Well, from here, that seems rather unlikely. But if it's assurances they want, you've no choice but to inspect the corpse in its entirety. I sure do wish the weather was better, because this would definitely be the thumbnail for the next episode where I actually go into the dungeon, but I'm sure there'll be other opportunities. Easier said than done, given the creatures which inhabit the wreckage, and the aforementioned Guardians who won't take kindly to your presence. They're sure to fire upon an airship, so I'd advise a more stealthy approach. Take this boat and a few of your comrades to the base of the Agrius, then climb to the top. That's the only viable approach, I'd say. As expected, there's the dungeon. The boat is yours for the taking, though I wouldn't make the journey without a few friends on my side, as those Guardians won't hesitate to attack you. Let's say Komori is killing time, waiting for friends. And by killing time, I mean triple triad. Let's see if we can clear this out from our map. I've run out of side quests to do in this area, so this is all that I have left. You wish to play cards? Well, I've been hoping for a reprieve from my work. Even the most diligent researcher must rest from time to time. Very well, here's to a thrilling match. No, Clintoa. We're not working here anymore. We close the book on that. No one is allowed into the Crystal Tower. Oh, she's got a pretty good deck. And we're working with plus rules too, so... this might be pretty bad for me. I never do well with plus. Alright, we win. Didn't get the card we needed. I'm guessing she has Sid. That's the card that's missing here, I guess. Our chances of actually getting it are pretty low. Guess we'll just keep going until I call it for the episode. This is purely unwatchable content, but this is also how I play the game. Killing time with triple triad. Damn. I don't record every single triple trod match I do on camera. In fact, I guess I cut most of them out whenever I'm in between episodes or whatever. But I guess if I do things like I do right now, play triple trad whenever I'm killing time, they'll serve as little checkpoints to indicate periods where my deck might have changed in between episodes or something, possibly. Has my deck changed at all between this episode and the last? I don't know. Damn it. I think we lost. Well, at least it was a draw. Guess we'll give it one more try. I'm not going to keep going until I get the card. On camera, anyway. Maybe after the episode ends. I'm not really working with a winning strategy here. Guess I'm mostly relying on luck. We can maybe work with this? Yeah, there we go. We got a card, but it wasn't Sid, which I'm pretty sure is what we're missing. A well-deserved victory. I'll have to tell my fellow researchers about your prowess at cards. We'll be back for you. On camera or off, I don't know. Before we head into the big dragon dungeon, now would be a good time to take a break.